I'm showing you what I'm putting inside of this month's activity kits. I'm gonna refill this one with all kinds of new things to keep my kids entertained when they say they are bored. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet. You guys are always saying you like the activity kit video, so we are doing another one because I cannot let you guys down. This one is actually from last time and I need to refill it with some new things. We've kind of gone through them. It's time to refill it, rejuvenate it, and to make it come back alive again. So I'm going to show you what I'm putting inside this month. I do try to recap what was in last month just to tell you how it went, if it went well or not, just to give you a review of the things that were in here. Some of the things have gone missing. They're no longer in this box. That's because they were played with and taken out and used. I'm pretty sure most of it's here, but just in quick recap as I empty out my box, let's tell you what worked and didn't work. This for sure worked. This is the See and Solve fraction calculator. I put this in here so they could check their work. One of my kids is working on fractions and they like to play and explore with it. So even though it's a calculator and it does fractions, I think it's a great tool just to kind of explore with. This definitely got used. This game has been in here for ages, for months, and I kept telling you guys I was going to learn how to play it. Well, I finally learned how to play and I told you guys over on Instagram how it went. It actually is a really fun game. It's simple to learn and it's very engaging. So the ages on this one was from 8 and up. So I'd have to say that's definitely true. 8 and up is probably the age range on this, but it's a great stocking stuffer game. Hint, hint, if you need something like that. 5 crowns, I would recommend it from Play Monster. Then we had this precursive workbook. It did not get used. And I was hoping she'd use it because she's doing it in school. I wanted her to get some extra practice. And I actually prompted her to try to do some and she just wasn't interested at all. But she does like to practice cursive on her own, just not using the workbook. I probably should have done this past summer. That probably would have been more productive. So this is going to go to a friend of mine who has a child who's going to be learning cursive. Then we have the multiplication machine. This is the, you push the buttons and the answer appears. This was used several times. I put this on Instagram too, several times, and the buttons pop up and the answer's on there. So this was a definite win. I might need to put this and keep it in there. Not sure yet because she's still working on multiplication, my 3rd grader, but that was always used. And then we had our little booklets here. Have animals of the world in the United States. So these were just for fun, for review. And my 4th grader actually likes doing these books. I think she did. I think she worked on some of this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I can see her answers are in here. So she likes doing this kind of stuff. And then my 3rd grader just wasn't interested. That's why this one is left over because this has been in there for 2 months and she's over the workbooks. I think I've gotten so many workbooks over the years that they're just over them. We will be going to a lot of restaurants this month when family comes in town. So I'm going to be keeping these close by just to grab them with us so they can work on those because the wait times usually are a little bit longer, and during the holidays. Yes, they were a hit for one of my kids. No for the other. That's the way it goes. And they're only $1, so I'm not too worried about it. Origami paper. Oh my gosh. You wouldn't be able to tell because there's still a lot in here, but they used a good portion of this doing some origami. They love looking it up on YouTube. So this was a huge hit. Oh, here's the dice. And the dice were used for a fidget popper game. And it's not in here. And you can probably know why because they used it. So definitely worked on that. It was one of those 2-player fidget popper games. This right here, we took it out, we played with it, but they're ready for this one to go on to a new owner. It's Mental Blogs Go, a travel game, tons of little games you can play in here. And we've had it for a long time. I mean, a really long time. And they are ready for this one to be passed on because they just weren't that interested in it any longer. So I think it's one of those things you just have for a long time and you're just over it. Then we have these Melissa and Doug on the go secret decoder books. They're halfway done. Like each time I show them to you, they're like little portions done. It's not because they don't want to do it. I actually found out it's because my daughter doesn't want them to end. So she doesn't want to finish them, which is the absolute cutest. This one actually might be done. Oh, almost. There's just some right at the very end. And I asked her, I said, hey, how come you're not doing these books? I thought you liked them. She's like, I do. And it's because she doesn't want them to end. So if she finishes the book, it's over. So she's kind of savoring it. So these are just like yes and no, like invisible ink books. And they're Melissa and Doug. And they're a little bit for older kids, 7 and up. There are little decoders on here. And they saw these little mysteries. And I had 3 of them. She's used one up already. And then these 2 are almost done. But I'm going to take them out of here. And once again, put this in my take with us to the restaurant stash. And just encourage her to finish them up because she likes them so much. But these definitely huge hit on this. So now we just need to fill up our box for this month. And this month is going to have a lot of Christmas crafts in it, you guys. I know. I'm putting too much Christmas crafts in here. But the reason why is because it's Christmas time. But secondly, because I know they like to do these projects and I just want to put them in the box. So when they see the box, they remember. These are DIY ornament kits. So I have two, one for each of them because these are simple crafts, you guys. For them, it's just really kind of a really fun thing to do when they're watching a Christmas movie or something. Penguin and snowman, I showed these in my haul, and each kit comes with all the pieces. They just have to put it together. And I think one of my kids did these in class last year. So they really do like these. They're just, like I said, really simple things to put together and do. And then we have these ornament kits. These are like the popsicle stick ones. So I got one for each of them, and they're making Frosty the Snowman, a Christmas tree, and Santa Claus. Also, these make great gifts. We're not giving them as gifts, but they make great gifts if you're going to give things to family members. So we have those ornaments, and then the last of the ornaments, well, not really. These traditional ones, either the plaster ones that they paint, comes with the paint and the paint brushes, tons of different styles of these at Dollar Tree. They're going to be decorating a lot of ornaments. And then as soon as these come out of their kit and they make them, we're going to have a lot more room in here. All right, so that's for the crafts so far. I do have more crafts, but I want to make sure I get some of the other stuff in too. I always put something they can do together, or at least I try to put something in there they can do together. I pulled this game because one, I haven't seen them play it in a long time, so toy rotation. But two, this is a skill that I'm working on with my 4th grader, and that's just being able to work in a very visual field. I've showed you this game before in the past. Let's see, it's from Briar Patch. It's called I Spy, Dig In. It's like a find it game. There's a ton of little pieces in here, and they go in this bowl. And I'm not going to show you how to play the whole entire game, but just to give you a gist of what we're looking at here, all those little pieces are in the bowl, all of them, not just the ones I put in. And then you have cards that are in the bag over here, and you have to find certain items, basically is the gist of the game. You have a timer and whatnot. So there's a little bit more rules to that, but just to give you a sense of what's going on here. But she has a difficult time really sorting out information from really busy fields. And so this is kind of a fun way where she's really working on that visual scanning process and trying to find what she needs. And it's really helpful because when she's reading or she's trying to find information in a large field of text, it can get very cumbersome for her. And so this is a fun way where she doesn't feel like she's really working on that skill, where she is working on that skill. So I found this in the closet. They haven't played it in a long time. Number one reason. And secondly, because this is a really great visual scanning thing to do. So this is recommended for ages 5 and up. She is 10, so it's not going to be a challenging game in like as far as skill level goes, but as far as working on that one thing of visual scanning, it's going to be very helpful for her. So that's why I kind of hung on to this game, because I think that might be a non-threatening way to work on that. The kids do love it, even if they're not working on that skill, because they get to root around and find that, and it's a very hands-on, manipulative-based game. I Spy, Dig In, and I think there might even be some different versions of this game. So if you have many kids, it's kind of a fun one to do because a lot of kids can play it. And since this one is so big, I'm hoping it's going to fit inside my little activity box. Let's see. Oh, it's taking up a lot of room. That's okay, because as soon as these crafts are done, we'll have plenty of room. All right. Next up, individual games that they can play by themselves is my next kind of thing I put in. I have 2 different ones. First one is this maze game from Dollar Tree. I haven't seen it in a while, but you can find very similar things on Amazon. I will try and find one and put it down below if this is kind of your thing. I will also link other stuff except for the Dollar Tree stuff down below. But there's a little marble in there, and you run it through the maze, try not to get it through the holes. And eye coordination, visual scanning is going on here. Once again, another really great skill to work on for your kiddos. I'm trying to get that ball out. I need to get that ball out so I can demonstrate better. Let me see if I can roll it. There it goes. It's a really tiny ball. I don't know if you can see it. You just got to be very careful on how you roll it so it doesn't go in the hole. It just went in the hole. 1-player game, small, compact, great to grab and go. Also great to put in an activity kit. So there it goes. Then I have IQ Digits. So I have to put 2 games because these are both individual games. But I have IQ Digits. And this one I just showed you in a gift guide. Once again, another small game, but it's critical thinking and logic. And it's our newest one, so that's why I wanted to put it in here. IQ Digits, I did a little bit better of a demo in that video. But basically what you have is the set of numbers. See, each piece is a number. There's a 4, there's a 7, and they all have to fit in this tray a certain way, but that's not really the puzzle. The puzzles are in this book, and there's different levels in here. I don't remember offhand the ages on this one. I do want to say probably 8 and up. Oh, I can't remember. Somebody will have to watch that video and tell me. Anyway, we have these puzzles here, and they have little placement of where you go or where you put your pieces to set up the puzzle, and then whatever pieces are left, you have to figure out what to put in. So the picture will show you which pieces to put in, how to set up your gameplay in your tray. Then you'll have some leftover pieces, and it's your job to figure out how they fit into this puzzle. Then when you get into later puzzles, there's also some math involved where you have to surround certain positions by adding numbers around it. So for instance, my booklet will have like a number 2 in here, and the 2 will go in this corner spot. The pieces around it have to add up to number 2. It's basically the premise, but it gets more challenging in that way. So it's not just putting the pieces in here. A very, very unique game. If you have those really logical thinkers or you want to work on logic skills, I really do think this is really fun and cute. Plus that they're all the number shapes. I mean, I think that's just so adorable. The kids actually really think that's cool. And so we're gonna put this one in here so they can check it out and explore it. They actually haven't played with this one yet, even though I put it in my gift guide. So I think they will really like that. So we got something crafty, usually put something to make. We got a game they can play together. We've got the 2 individual games. Then I need sensory. So for sensory this month, last month it was my little bubble popper fidget game, but this time I think I'm going to bring back an oldie, only because I love it. So this is the boogie board. It's just you have this drawing surface and you can write on it. I think we used to have a pen to it. Do we have a pen to it? Well, we can use this one, I suppose. And you draw on it and it kind of glows a little bit. And there's a little button on here you push and it magically disappears. And your picture is gone. And that's, again, a really nice flat travel size game to play. I showed it a long time ago in a video and we still have it and still love it. They also have, oh, see these, there's my pens right here. What am I thinking? Pens go on the top like this and they store on pretty well. And they have different edges. So they're not just like a pen shape. There's also kind of like a wide, thick shape here and they all make different designs. And there's 4 different ones. I had to take them off in order to fit them in the box so they can explore with that. But that does come with 4 pens. If I can find this older model, I will put that down below. But I'm sure they've come up with newer ones because this is like, I don't know, 4 years old or so. Fabulous. And we did have this other one that's also from Boogie Board and it's the same concept, just smaller, but it was their alphabet one where you put in the flashcards and you can trace it. But I'm going to put this one together again. And I kind of now wish I had 2 because then they could play with it together. And this is going to go into my kit. This one's kind of a random thing, but I bring these out every year because I put them in my Christmas decorations because they're kind of Christmassy things. They are blank books from Target. Usually around this time of year, they come out with these little blank books, but then I packed them away and kept them in my Christmas things so that I would bring them out again this year because they can draw and write on them. So these would usually go in our activity kits just for drawing and writing paper. But since they are holiday themed, I am going to put them in our activity kit so they have some paper to draw and scribble on, do stories on, comic books. They play, you know, tic-tac-toe, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to add that in there so they have access to them. And since we do have a little bit more room, only because we do have a little bit more room, I'm going to add in these. These are from Dollar Tree. Oh, aren't they the cutest? Little gingerbread man and Christmas tree so they can paint these. I'm not going to put the paint in here. They know where they can find the paint. If they were younger and they needed help with that, I probably would have put the paint in here, but they're old enough to know where the craft supplies are to go get the paint. But they don't know that these are available, that they can color them or they can paint them and decorate them. So I'm going to add those. There's one for each of them. We have some decorating to do, and I can't wait to put these in the house. They really like to put these on their room. So I put like a command hook on their door, and they like to hang up their own decorations for their room. And I do have one more, which I didn't think was going to fit in here, which are the little gingerbread houses. I think these are so cute. They have little lights on them, and they light up in their ornaments, and they can decorate these or paint them. Glitter glue, we have all the supplies. So whatever they want to do, they can do with these. And that would be their last craft to go in there. And then hopefully next time I show you this box, all the crafts will have been done. That's my ultimate goal. But we are filled. There's so much in here. They're going to have a lot to do this coming week. And then when school's out, they probably will do most of it. And then we have our extra stuff too. So very excited about this month's activity box. If you're looking for even more ideas, I got you covered there. I have an Amazon list filled with all kinds of inspirations so you can get some ideas of what to put inside yours. And what's great about this list is that I started it years ago. So there's things for kind of all ages in there. I'm gonna put another video up here on screen that I think you would like. I'll see you over there. Make sure to click subscribe to see more videos like this and give me a thumbs up to show your love.